In Goemon's first appearance and perhaps his last in the arcade, the goal of this game is to reach the end of every single stage while avoiding or defending the guards. Goemon's main weapon is his pipe, but he can also jump on enemies and pick up and throw items that are scattered through the levels. The visual style of the game references a variety of traditional Japanese art forms, including screen painting and iconic woodbook printing image known as ukiyo. Ganbare Goemon Karakuri Dōchū 1986. The game established many of the most identifiable aspects of the series: the top-down 3-4 perspective, Goemon use of a pipe and a yo-yo as a weapon, buying items in store with found money such as armor and health replenishing items, and 3D maze sequences, and the Lucky Cat, Maneki, Nico power-ups that increase the power of Goemon weapon. Ganbare Goemon Karakuri Dōchū 1989. Ganbare Goemon 2 is the sequel to the first game Ganbare Goemon and retains many of its core elements such as its double dragon style field depth, the 3-pass system that require careful exploration of a stage before the player can proceed to next, and Goemon's propensity for daring heist, the proceeds of which are then donated to the poor townspeople. Ganbare Goemon Gaiden Kieta Ōgon Kiseru 1990. The thrust of this game is that Goemon's trusted golden pipe goes missing one day, possibly stolen, and Goemon sets out to find it along with his frequent companion Ebisumaru. Goemon meets many other allies along the way as he travels the width and breadth of Japan to find his pipe. Emaki 1991. The game took place in a cartoonish representation of feudal Japan. The story follows Goemon and Ebisumaru, Kid Young and Dr. Young in the non-Japanese release, journey across Japan to rescue Princess Yuki, who had been kidnapped by the Otafu army. Along the way, they find the fight past all manner of ninjas, monsters, ghosts, quiz show hosts, villages, and robots. Ganbare Goemon Sarawareta Ebisumaru 1991. The game was collected on Konami GB Collection Volume 2, which was released for the Game Boy in Japan in December of 1997. This collection was released in Europe for Game Boy Color in the year 2000 as Konami GB Collection Volume 3. Here the game was titled Mystical Ninja starring Goemon, one of 3 completely different games to be released with this title. Ganbare Goemon Gaiden 2 Tenka no Zaihō 1992 is a sequel for the released Family Computer System on January 3rd, 1992 in Japan. In this story, Goemon is after a treasure. Like its predecessor, the general goal of the game is to progress from territory to territory by getting to the gate while collecting 3 passes. There are more pure action stages and fewer randomly hidden passages in this title. Ganbare Goemon 2 Kiteretsu Shogun Magginesu 1993, the second game in the Ganbarean Goemon series for the SNES era. Goemon and his companion Ebisumaru take a break after rescuing Princess Yuki, only to be warned of the impending doom approaching Japan in the form of General Magginesu, who is attempting to westernize everything. Ganbare Goemon 3 Shijirobuki no Karakuri Manji Katami 1994, the third Super Famicom game to feature Goemon, Ebisumaru and their friends. This game would break away from the linear stage of the earlier games and provide a larger interconnected world like those found in the version of the Nintendo 64 games. Ganbare Goemon Kirakira Dōchū Boku ga Dancer ni Natawaki 1995. The player chooses to play as the 4 characters in any order, each of which is based on a different moon. Each moon has different levels and environments. Goemon is a desert moon, Ebisumaru's is a forest moon, Sasuke is an ice moon, and Yai is an aquatic moon. Ganbare Goemon Ushu Kaizuku Akuginuku. Gameplay is rather similar to Ganbare Goemon 3, as there is a main map in a top-down perspective which leads to various 2D side-scrolling levels. Being that is the first Ganbare Goemon title released for the PlayStation system, it experimented with graphics such as showing onward dips during the overhead map portion. Ganbare Goemon Kurofune to no Nazo 1997, mystical ninja starring Goemon, featuring 3 characters, Goemon, Sasuke and Ebisumaru, who can walk, jump, attack and throw weapons throughout 5 stages of play. Goemon enjoyed a varied ability. Ebisumaru could throw farther but suffered athletically, while Sasuke would jump high but could not throw as well as the others. Nintendo 64, was released in 1997. The majority of Mystical Ninja starring Goemon is a 3D action-adventure game played from the 3D perspective. It is very similar to The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, although Mystical Ninja was released first. The game contains open-world exploration as well as separate dungeon and puzzle gameplay. Ganbare Goemon Dōchū Obaki Dinkomari is a 2D platform game released in 1998 for Nintendo 64. The gameplay adopts features from Ganbare Goemon series from the Super Famicom era and abandoned the tree roaming style of Mystical Ninja starring Goemon. Although movement is restricted along a two-dimensional plane, the stages are rendered in 3D dimension and frequently wind along with Z coordinates, earning the game a 2.5D gameplay style. Ganbare Goemon is a Japanese role-playing video game developed by Toei and published by Konami for the Game Boy Color. The protagonist in the game is a boy named Hiroshi who somehow gets transported into a Ganbare Goemon game and team with Goemon in order to save Japan from some evil forces. The game alternates between stages featuring either Goemon or Ebisumaru. Each character takes a different route toward the bad guy, and as a result the stage scrolls differently for each character. The player can collect upgraded items and weapons, but there is no character upgrading besides that. The game also features mid-level bonus rounds featuring the rest of Goemon bodies in several arcade minigames as traditional for the series. The game is extremely similar to Ganbare Goemon 2 for the Super Famicom and Goemon Great Adventure, in that there is mostly side-scrolling level accompanied by some impact bosses, and all of its music and sound effects are recycled from the previous game like Mystical Ninja starring Goemon, Goemon Great Adventure and Mononoke Sugoroku.
さあさあお立ち会いよ立ち会い
Inspired from the Legend of Zelda games with some role-playing game elements, the player assumes the role of Goemon, who is set once again to save Japan. Goemon is able to use a large variety of weapons, including his trademark pipe, as well as equip sub-weapons, items and magic, which can be assigned in 4 hexagons for quick use. Goemon Shin Sidai Shumi is an action game platform game in the Ganbare Goemon series, released for the PlayStation on December 20, 2001 in Japan. Developed by Konami Entertainment and Now Production. It is a futuristic spin-off of the original Ganbare game series starring new characters who inherit the namesake of the original cast in a more modern setting. Ganbare Goemon Dōchū Audio Tengu Kikarachi no Maki is a Ganbare Goemon game released for the DS on June 23, 2005. Its release marked the revival of the series medieval Japan's themes and quirky humor, as previous game had taken place in a futuristic setting or with a more serious tone. And unfortunately, this is the last game for the Goemon series, and we didn't have any new releases since 2005.